we are not producers. Everyone, I am Elizabeth Ann West, CEO and founder of oh my gosh, I can't talk tonight. I'm author Elizabeth Ann West. I am founder and AI enthusiast of Future Fiction Academy, and I have a special guest tonight, another founder of Future Fiction Academy. I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Steph Pajonas. I write as S.J. Pajonas. I guess I am COO and CTO of Future Fiction Academy. I have a double role there. I've been an AI enthusiast for over a year now. We've been having fun with it, doing lots of fun stuff. And that's why Elizabeth started the Future Fiction Academy, and I immediately grabbed hold of her and got ready for the ride.
It has been a fun ride.
Yes.
I have something exciting to announce for those who are already tuning in, and they know Joseph Yu, our developer, we're going to show some of the fruits of his labor tonight. He today successfully accessed Claude API locally through Rexy. Yes. So
what?
Yes. So it's happening. It's happening. Okay.
Oh my gosh, I missed that news.
I just got it. Like he wanted to talk to me because we fixed something. He's like, I was like, I've got to go. I've got 13 minutes before I'm live. Like, love you, but I've got to go. Okay. And that's kind of a good segue for us to introduce why we're here tonight. Rexy. So I think all of us who have been writing with AI for the last year, sometimes people have only been working for 6 months. Let us know in the chat how long you've been writing with AI. We're always curious, whether you're on the Facebook group or in YouTube live with us. We'd love to hear how long you've been working with AI with your writing. For me, I started in December of 2021. November of 2021, because I published the book in December. And it was my first tool that I really used was pseudo-write. And then I learned about Playground, and then I learned about ChatGPT. Now there's so many. I think one of my favorite tools out there right now is actually OpenRouter.ai.com, which allows you to access all of these different models, including the not safe for work models that's out there. Steph, how long have you been writing with AI?
You know what? I just saw on my Facebook memories fairly recently that I was sharing some funny tidbits of stuff that I had gotten from pseudo-write when I was working on a novel last year at this time. So I think it was about 3 months previous to that. So I feel like I've been doing this for like 15, 16 months somewhere.
Okay, so kind of like the late summer of 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah. And believe it or not, there's so many people just now finding out about this stuff. Like, we've been early adopters, and I have been at conferences, including NINC last year and 20 books to 50K, like with my laptop, like chasing people down. Like, you have to see this. You have to see this. We will be at conference. We are 1 month away, guys, from Vegas 2023, and it's going to be exciting. It'll definitely be jazz hands, because the entire Future Fiction Academy team will be there to party with all of you that first Monday night at the Tipsy Robot. So it'll be after the vendor session. Come down to the Tipsy Robot in the Miracle Mile. We'll have a drink for you and some fun. So we'll get to meet everybody who's AI positive. All right, let's check the chat. Let's see if anybody answered about how long they have been. Wow. Oh my gosh, the chat. I'll do the YouTube chat if you want to handle the Facebook chat.
Oh yeah, let me go over and check and see if anybody said anything there.
Sure. And here on YouTube, we've got Krista in the house. We've got Jorge. We've got Theodore and Tara and Jen. We've got one of our other founders, Electric. I think that's Karen B. Angie's in the house. Tim's in the house. Harper and Guthrie Taylor, welcome. Guthrie says that he has been writing since May of 2023, so kind of recent. Then we have Tim about 1.5 years, and Krista 11 months. So we're kind of all over the place.
Yeah, lots of people having fun with AI.
Yeah, it's a great time. Okay, so Steph and I will chat a little bit more, but here is the thing. I didn't really prep a whole lot for today. Okay. And that was intentional.
It's more fun when we do it off the cuff.
That's why. So if you go to the YouTube description, there is a link in the description that shares a link to the Notion page. Now, there's one little teeny tiny snafu for today. That is, there is a superstructure page that's shared there, but you can't access it yet. That's because it's got my API keys in there. And while I love y'all, I don't love y'all that much. Like, I'm not paying for your AI usage. Once we're done with the lives tonight at 10 o'clock, I will make that page available and I'll take my keys out and then I'll create a different one for Sunday. So we'll be able to do this. So basically the personalized prompts will be in there. And we won't have the prompt library, that's still in Rexy, but you'll be able to see like the outputs on the auto write and everything like that. So you'll be able to access those things. So with that said, and I've got to fill a few more minutes here before we get started. Put in the chat what you want us to do with Rexy tonight. What do you want us to write? What's the project for tonight? Y'all came early. You get to decide. You want an Alice in Wonderland times time travel? I don't know. I'm open for anything. The only thing I really would prefer not to write is horror. I know it's October, but maybe thriller is about as serious as I'll go.
Yeah.
And I really considered like doing something mafia romance because I know that's super hot right now, and that way we could show the not safe for work, the bang word banger. You know, bang them if you need to sleep with them, or bang them if you need to kill them.
Yep.
So what kind of projects would you love for people to propose? We'll look at the chat and go by the vote.
Yeah, let's go see what people are saying. Science fiction, monster romance. We've got some insta love.
Science fiction, monster romance. Anything like
that's a great combination right there.
Great combination. Anything on Facebook yet?
Or
mafia romance. You know what? I'm not. There's another one. Okay, so we're definitely doing monster romance. And I kind of like this idea of a mafia monster romance idea.
I do too. I think
right?
it'd be fun. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So that is the tribe has spoken. And we'll go ahead and do that. So let me go into our Tiny Arms Big Dreams, and we're doing monster mafia romance. That's what we have been tasked with. You guys saw it live. We did not prepare this. This is going to be hilarious. All right. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. I'm going to add it to the stage. Here we are. So this is the page I was talking about. If you click on that October 6th and 7th and you're not me or Steph, you can't actually access it. But we're going to go ahead and get started with showing off Rexy. A little bit about Rexy. So all I ever wanted, and no, I'm not going to break out into song. I know it's like it's like a joke now. I start singing in sync with that because of the lyric there. But one of the dreams I had with writing with AI when I first started learning, once I like really harnessed how to prompt and everything, is I wanted the ability to go, okay, I know I want to run these 5 or 6 prompts. I basically wanted like a Scratch-like interface for prompting that I could put my prompts in there and then they would just run. What about you, Steph? What did you hope you could do with AI?
I'm right there with you. There were all these times when I was like, oh, I'm copying and pasting, so much copying and pasting. I wanted to be, I just want a sleek, slim interface where we just put all the stuff in and hit run.
Yeah, and I wanted the interface to make sense. I wanted things labeled. I wanted buttons labeled. I wanted to understand right away when I looked at the software how to use it. I wanted it to auto write to things so that way I could stay in flow and I could really work on my story. So, okay. So that's what we are aiming to do with Rexy. And let me go ahead and check the chat here, see if anyone's here. What's the Facebook feed? Okay. So here we go. So a little bit about Rexy really fast. So people are, someone's like, so much copy and paste. Holy cow. Amen. Amen. Okay. So let's go to Rexy. So Rexy is right over here. And I know you guys can see my Notion key here, but let me go ahead and go to the home screen. And this is Rexy. So Rexy is only available to members of the Future Fiction Academy. And it's going to stay that way because we do not let amateurs who are not trained play with dinosaurs. Those are facts. No, the big thing is that show of hands in the chat, because I know we have a lot of members here tonight. How many times a week does a new model or a new thing drop? Like at least once or twice a week lately? What do you think, Steph?
Oh my God. I feel like it's happening almost every day at this point.
Yeah. And so you're going to see Rexy live tonight and you're going to see his capabilities and they're very strong. Do I think that Rexy is going to be the only tool that can do this? Nope. I can tell you right now that I think showing Rexy publicly like we're doing, I have no doubt that some of the bigger commercial products in the market today, they're going to start adopting some of these methodologies we have in the FFA. So if the FFA is outside of your pricing budget right now, just sit tight, because I promise the methods and things that we're doing, they're going to get co-opted by other companies and be a lot cheaper, because they're going to be going for the masses. Future Fiction Academy, we like to say bleeding edge, right, Steph?
Absolutely, bleeding edge, right on the cusp.
So that's what we do. So this is Rexy, and it just was upgraded. And it's pretty simple up at the top. We have different tools here up at the top, including your library, your prompter, your line editor, and your word banger. We're going to show all of those tonight. We have 3 sessions tonight: 6 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Eastern, and 10 o'clock Eastern. And we'll stick on this Mafia Monster Romance thing here. You also can control all of your AI providers. So no more do you have to go between OpenAI and Claude. Claude is Anthropic. And in a week or so, we'll have access for your members through their AWS server. If you sign up with AWS through Bedrock, we'll be able to have you access your Claude API through AWS. But if you don't have that right now, you can use OpenRouter. OpenRouter offers you all these different things. So not just OpenAI, but also Claude too. Although I will tell you this, last night it wrote fiction for me, but most of the time OpenRouter's in like super secret probation, because it's a bunch of people using one API key. When people try to do the not safe for work content over and over and over again, all of a sudden that Claude has a tendency to go, I just can't write fiction. Can we have an ethical discussion about literature instead?
Clutch my pearls.
Yes. It's a very dramatic Claude.
Yes.
But Steph, you ran into that, right? Because you used to run a Slack group. And what happened with Claude there?
I did. I used to run a Slack group where we had lots of authors using Claude within the Slack workspace. And I was very hands off about it. I was like, understand the terms of service and the terms of use, and please don't use a lot of maybe go against their terms of use, which would included, if you wanted to write sexy times or violence or any one of these things. And then it just at some point they cut off access to us because we had violated the terms of use enough times. And it was because the Slack server had like 200 people on it.
Yeah,
using
it was a lot.
it constantly. It was a lot. And I had a feeling at some point our access was going to get taken away, and it did. And the same thing will happen occasionally with a company like OpenRouter, because they are funneling so much traffic through from so many users, and some of those people are bound to break the rules at some point.
Yeah. And so that actually helped us learn for the Future Fiction Academy. And so we're going with a model that's now termed in the industry as BYOK. So if you see BYOK, it means bring your own key. And that means you are responsible for what you run. Steph is responsible for what she runs. I'm responsible for what I run. And that way we're not jeopardizing Rexy for everybody.
Yep.
Another great thing about OpenRouter that I talked about is all of these great models here, like Mancer, Weaver, and our new favorite, at least for me, is Mythomax. Where is it? Right here, Griff Mythomax. I mean, chef's kiss. These are the not safe for work models. These are mostly built off of llamas, custom llamas, where they've stripped out all of the pearl clutching. And I mean, they can write torture scenes. They can write sex scenes. They can write torture sex scenes. They can do it all.
They do not discriminate.
No. And for the last since we got OpenRouter into Rexy about a month ago, so much of the founders, at least testing these models, has been like, okay, how well does it write a blowjob? How well does it write a torture scene? Okay, move on to the next model. Like, I had no idea my professional life would turn into this.
Me neither.
So there is that. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with our Mafia romance here. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how this all connects, because that's the really cool part. So over here, I have linked to my superstructure. And everybody who's in the FFA, you got documentation earlier this week. Plus, we did labs kind of walking through the onboarding and stuff. So if you're here today as a member of the FFA, hop into Teachable and look at those most recent labs for this week to show how to onboard onto Rexy, particularly Wednesday night's lab, because I went through each step.
And there will be a video available probably over this weekend of me just walking through the onboarding steps. I'm literally like 80% done with it as of like right now. So coming up soon.
And actually, this is the documentation on how to use Rexy. This is the setup documentation. And I love that this is not the page you duplicate. Because there is a link after you get your keys all together, which it walks you through how to gather all of your keys. I can close the Notion one. There is kind of like how to get your Rexy superstructure and everything. Now, for those of you who are thinking, I'm just going to get the link and I'll be able to use Rexy, you have to sign in through Teachable. So Rexy is officially now only available to Future Fiction Academy members. Okay, so that said, I have to kind of hook up my Rexy page. So what I have to do here is I have this superstructure page, and some features of the superstructure page is that we brought in projects. This was really important to all of us. When we're working with AI, you know, we work on projects and pen names and stuff. And if I'm working on stuff, I want to be able to do a drop down and just select my project. So let's go ahead and create this, click this new series button right here. And we're going to do, I'm going to click right into it. And let's go ahead and name this Orc Mafia Romance Series, right?
Exciting. I'm ready.
For those of you who have been with the FFA for a while, you'll recognize your auto write, your construction, and your log page. Everyone will get to see those demoed in just a few minutes here. Then we also have these really new features here, which is our book analysis, which allows us to bring in elements of the book. And then, spoiler alert, sometime, probably October, November, you will be able to always call back these items into Rexy as elements in your prompting. So that's going to save a lot of time on copying and pasting. I just want to check the chat real fast, make sure we're not missing anybody who's asking questions. So much copy and paste. Excited for AWS. Good. Krista's asking if she can get the Facebook link. Krista, if you're in the AI Writing for Authors group, we're right there live in Facebook. Sorry for the lag on YouTube.
No problem.
All right. So let's get going on this Orc Mafia. So coming back into Rexy here, the key parts of your superstructure after you duplicate it is in the top right-hand corner, your three dots. You're going to always make sure that you connect it to your Notion integration that you create. Notion is a double system for their API. And an API, by the way, is just like, it's like giving like the babysitter a key to your house. You know, if you imagine the house is OpenAI or the house is Notion, Notion's like, well, I'm just not going to let anybody in. Oh, they have a key? Well, then we'll let them in. But Notion requires a duplication thing. So I can't just give the key, which I gave Rexy. I gave a dinosaur key to my Notion house. On top of that, I have to also tell Notion, please expect a dinosaur to come into my Notion on a regular basis and put words in here. So it requires, you have to give it the key in Rexy, and then you also have to add the connection right here in Notion. That's usually the step most people forget. That's the one like that they overlook. So once I've done that, I just copy this URL right here at the top. And in my Rexy, when I go to set up my Rexy page, I just paste that into here. And once I do that, I validate it. Now it does also have my Notion key, which y'all don't need to know. No. So that's why you can't see it. But my connection is verified and I can go ahead and save. And now when I save, over on this left-hand side, I can come over to projects and you'll see that that Orc Mafia Romance Series project is right there. So I can go ahead and load that project. Now, what does loading my project do for me? Well, so let's go ahead and choose our auto write to Notion. So Orc Mafia, we can call it whatever we want to. We'll change them as we need them, but right now that's what it is. Orc Mafia Romance Series is what it'll do. Actually, let's go ahead and change it to the 6 p.m. We'll label them by the 6 p.m. EDT YouTube. That way, as we continue to write to this over and over again all night, I'll change this to 8 p.m. for the 8 p.m. one.
Good idea. I like it.
Now, I'm not going to lie. I don't know the first thing about an Orc Mafia Romance series, so I'm going to ask the AI to help me. So the first thing I'm going to do is come over to library.
Yeah, let's ask the AI what it is.
Let's ask the AI for some help.
Orc Mafia romances.
All right. So one of the cool things about the FFA is you have your prompt library. You also can have your personal prompt library, and we'll show that probably a little bit later tonight. But the cookbook here, I can drop down and I can do all these ideas and inspirations and world building. I think we should do world building first.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Because ideas and inspiration is basically like that Orc Mafia romance. So this is just a very simple prompt of universe creation and define the story world elements needed. I'm going to go ahead and load that prompt, and then I'll click right into it. So here I have this worksheet of a prompt. And I can always control what AI settings I want over here. So if I don't want to use OpenAI, if I want to use somebody else, I can. And then the instructions are right here for what to do. Bring your genre and ideas so far, and this will help you learn the elements needed for your story world. Now, those of you who are used to my teaching, hopefully you've already started filling that comment section right now with your ideas for this orc mafia romance. So
yeah, let's see it. Let's see it.
I'm going to put that as the genre. Let's see what we have in the chat. Oh, cool. I see the comments from the users there. Okay. All right. So what are the ideas for the orc mafia romance? We'll have to wait a few seconds here because there is about a 20-second
Yeah,
lag.
there's a little bit of a delay.
There is. They're just now hearing about it.
let's sip.
So while that's happening, I will go into the Tiny Arms Big Dreams page, and I will put here step 1. We used 200, 201 world building.
And you know what, Elizabeth, it might be a good time to tell people about our taxonomy of prompts.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. So
yeah,
this is still a work in progress. Let me go to, I'll be dangerous here. Go to the dashboard and then go to the Rexy pages here. So this is our taxonomy that we're working on. And like I say, it's very much a work in progress. Let's see if it changes on the screen there. So what we're doing here is we need a common language when it comes to sharing prompts and everything like that in the writing world. At least that's what I think. It would make my life easier. Mm-hmm. And we all moved to Notion because we're not going to talk about the graveyard of prompts that we all have in Google Docs right now, right? Like all of y'all have prompts you can't even, yeah, we know.
I had them in Google Docs, and then I moved them to Evernote.
Yep.
And that I think they're finally at home in Notion now. I think.
That's it. So what we have here is we have come up with all of these different kind of categories. So we came up with 10 kind of core ideas of ideas and inspiration, world building, character development, plotting, writing. Then you would developmental edit. Then you would copy edit. Then you would be working on marketing. And then we have some miscellaneous and then some business prompts that we've been working on. So we have this taxonomy that we are working on as the Future Fiction Academy, and we plan to make this open source. So everybody, any tool basically can use these prompts numbering and things like that if they want to. They may be able to come up with their own story premise idea. So whatever they want to do there. But so the idea here is that let's take a look at character development, for example. So 300-301.0 will get you a character sheet. Now, 0.1 will get you a romance character sheet, because what we did is we went ahead and assigned different genres to the first decimal. So that way, when you're working with Rexy, let's say you're a romance author, you know any prompt that has a 0.1 after it is going to be a prompt for your genre. If you write science fiction, you're going to be looking for the 0.4s in those different categories. And we do have some holders here, some talks about women's fiction and things like that. We'll probably fill these in based on like what the population, what the Future Fiction Academy members want for 7 and 8. But this is what we have so far. Yeah. And the best thing about decimals too is that it also allows us to get more granular. So if 0.1 is romance, one idea is maybe 0.15 is Regency romance. We haven't solidified that quite yet. It might be historical and then Regency, Victorian, all that. So we'll play with those numbers as we go. What'll probably end up happening, and let me see what you think about this stuff. I think we'll probably end up making like prompt committees by genre and letting those writers kind of like decide what prompts that they want.
Yeah, I mean, we should be crowdsourcing this as much as possible, because a few of us only write in so many genres. We can't know what is needed from other genres, and we need to listen to the authors who write in those areas. Absolutely. Yep.
So that's where we're going. My login failed. Why did my login fail? Oh, I think I just timed out because I didn't do anything.
You just timed out.
No,
we were chatting.
Good news is everything's saved already. So now it's just loading back in.
Let's look at the chat. Did somebody come up with some ideas? Oh, let's see. Oh, orc kidnaps a Fey woman and starts a family war. That's interesting. 2 households, both alike in dignity, in fair Las Vegas, where we lay our seed. I love it. That's very Romeo and Juliet.
Very much so much.
Fantasy take on Las Vegas. Okay. Yeah.
So that's the second thing on Vegas.
I know. I see.
Oh, Meg's just put 0.169 is gay Regency romance. Well, we'll discuss it. We'll discuss it, Megs.
We'll take it up with the committee.
We'll take it up with the committee. I love it. All right, so let me go back into my story world. Prompt here.
Okay.
Yeah, Rexy's not really designed for. So we're gonna go with orc. Mafia romance. This is okay. This is just an error about Streamlit that will resolve itself. I don't have
it'll resolve itself at some point.
Yeah, it's one of the things about Rexy is that he is so cutting, like he is so bleeding edge that you know, there's rough edges, and I love our developer Joseph because he's like, oh, I'll fix this, I'll fix that. So I'm like, I don't care. I'm here to write books. I don't care if the software is like perfect. I just need it to make words.
It just needs to make words. That's it.
Yep. Which while I'm doing that, I'll go ahead and load the project series here. Make sure I load that.
Yeah, make sure our autos are all set. You're going to do
the 6 p.m. EDT YouTube. There we go.
Okay.
Okay, so orc mafia romance. We said orc something steals a Fey woman.
Oh right? Yeah, steals a Fey woman.
Okay, fantasy-based Las Vegas.
Starts a family war, right?
Town, and we want family wars similar to Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, perfect. So that's what I've got for our ideas here. Now, our prompting system prompt. You are a writing assistant who's an expert in every element of story writing, craft, plotting, and any other task an author asks you to help with. I can even change this prompt on the fly. This is what we love about Rexy. You're never locked in on anything where it comes to something from the FFA. It has 100% customization. You specialize in high drama, conflict, and tension. Your romance ideas are are high heat, sensual, and spicy. I don't know if the AI is going to put that. We'll see.
Let's see how it does.
All right. Given the genre and the ideas, now this is the core of how the prompter works. The part in squiggly bits, as I like to call it, or curly braces for
curly brackets.
Curly brackets. I can't even get that right. All you coder people out there. The squiggly bits, the parts in squiggly bits. It correlates to a box over here, genre and ideas. Now, if you are building your own prompts, it's really simple for you to choose these different boxes for yourself. So even the UI can be perfectly customizable to the way your brain thinks and the way you prompt artificial intelligence, not the way I prescribe it or Steph prescribes it or something like that. So the prompt here is, give the genre and the ideas I have so far. Please make me a detailed report of all story world elements that would be needed to write a series of books, including examples in that story world. Now, I want to go ahead and construct this prompt. So I'm going to go story world, prompt, orc, mafia, romance. And I'm going to go ahead and construct that prompt. Now, what's really cool about Rexy is that he will literally make the prompt for you so you can see exactly how the elements in the boxes on the left get put into the prompt for you. On top of that, you get a handy dandy Notion page. And I can go ahead and publish this Notion page and copy the web link. And I will go ahead and put it right here. So here is our first prompt. And I'll put the link right there for you guys. And you can take that link. You can take the prompt right here, right now. You can take that into ChatGPT. You can take that into Claude. You can take it anywhere you want. I'm lazy.
We didn't want to restrict people to just using the API keys. If you have a ChatGPT Plus subscription, you can easily just copy the prompt and bring it over No problem.
Right. And there's other toolings out there too. For example, I know Pseudowrite is working on some really cool prompting stuff, and there may be a possibility of different things that people build that output in Rexy that they can take to their Pseudowrite if they say have Pseudowrite words at the end of every month that they need to use or something like that. Or if you have more messages in Poe, right? Poe is the one that does Poe. So if you have, 45 messages left on Claude and Poe, and you don't want to use your Claude API, because whenever you use your API, you pay for what you use. So you pay for those words that you run. When you buy something like Poe or whatever, or Pseudowrite, and you have a cap, you have to kind of work within those caps, and they usually roll over each month. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this. Let's go ahead and pick, I'm going to go to my settings on the left-hand side here, and I'm going to, let's do GPT-4. Okay. Let's bring that temperature up to 1.8, and let's bring the top P down to 0.6. For those of you who are going, wait, what? Why? One of our co-founders, Leland Artra, kind of discovered this trick that your temperature is max crazy. And then the top P says, only consider the top 60% of the crazy that's likely. So it makes your randomness like off the charts. So you can kind of play with temperature and play with your top P. We have multiple labs in the FFA that go over these hyperparameters and what you can do. So I'm going to click update. That is also a limitation, by the way. You can't do these things in chat if you were to take this prompt into chat, but you can make these changes in OpenAI Playground if you want to use Playground.
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and click process. Las Vegas type city set in a fantasy world. The city is a hub of gambling, crime, magic, and luxury. There could be towering casinos run by fantastical families, dark alleys where illegal magic trades happen, high-end shopping districts with magical items, and residential areas segregated by species or clans. The city could be surrounded by mystical forests, desolate deserts, and treacherous mountains. Example, Glitterfall, the city of sin and magic, where towering casinos touch the starlit sky, and every corner echoed with the clink of gold and whispers of illicit spells. Variety.
I love it already.
Huh?
I love it already.
Yep. So we've got orcs and fays are predominantly. There could also be elves, dwarves, goblins, trolls. Each species could have its own unique characteristics, culture, magic, and hierarchy. Example, the orcs, burly and green-skinned, ruled the city's underbelly, while the I can never say that word, ethereal fae held power in the glittering high-rises. A detailed magic system. Magic was currency. The fae's whispers could make flowers bloom, while an orc's roar could shatter stone. Oh, I like that. So we have the clans. The Grumsh clan of orcs held the city's west, their casinos filled with hardy warriors, while the east was the realm of the Silverbells, a fae family known for their enchanting beauty and deadly magic. So we have the Grumsh and the Silverbells.
It's a little hard to say. Maybe we'll have to, massage that a little bit.
I think it's fun. Grumsh. Yeah? Grumsh. Yeah. Oh, I just realized that's really bad. I just did that 3 times. Someone could take like a snippet of that.
Expect it online in 24 hours.
Yeah. So Grog, the orc underboss, never expected to fall for the Fey maiden he'd stolen. Every stolen glance, every forbidden touch between them was a rebellion, a spark in the powder keg that was Glitterfall. I mean, I don't know. He stole her and then he fell in love with her. Okay, so let her go?
So maybe it's sort of a, like Hades and Persephone type thing, right?
Yeah, possibly.
You could marry in some Greek mythology in here too.
In Glitterfall, you could sip pixie dust cocktails while watching dragon races or gamble your soul away in the game of goblin poker. I love this. I'm worried that there's actually a Glitterfall out there. Like, is this like, it almost sounds like something out there.
Is it the new Willow Creek? I don't know.
Is it the new Willow Creek? But that is actually something important about AI. So the first thing I would do is I would Google Glitterfall and see if anything comes up. I don't know what this is. Wikipedia?
Is that like Wookiees in Star Wars?
I don't know.
In a galaxy far, far away. It might be. Might be a Star Wars thing.
Oh, so that's a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not exactly a problem in the sense that this is a very obscure thing, and ours is nothing like this with a rebel. Right. We don't have a rebel. We're not sci-fi. We're not Rebel Alliance. But what I could do is I could always ask for more ideas of Glitterfall and everything like that. So let's do that. So one of the things that is really cool about Rexy that you guys just saw in action is that if I come back over here into Tiny Arms Big Dreams, I didn't have to copy and paste anything. But if I come into my romance series, I have in my construction that prompt is already saved for me. On top of that, my auto write. So here is the story world elements. They're right here. So I'm just showing you guys, so I don't have to leave Rexy. Everything's already saved already. I can just keep going and working on the next thing. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to come over to my completion here, because you can edit your completion, and I'm going to save it to WordBanger. So I'm going to take this over to WordBanger actually. And when I go over to WordBanger, which I just realized that this means I don't have my top. Let me try this. That's a trick. If you click set up Rexy, it kind of restarts the homepage so that I can get to WordBanger.
There you go.
But rest assured, our developer just saw that and he'll have that fixed. But I'm sorry, Dasha has to go out. Those of you know Dasha. That Dasha either has to come in while I'm teaching or she has to leave while I'm teaching. It's one or the two.
And then she'll be back later.
She'll be back later. She'll be back at the 8 o'clock hour. All right. So one of the cool things that you can do in WordBanger, and there's lots of cool things you can do in WordBanger. WordBanger allows you to sequence prompts, and we'll probably be doing that by the 10 o'clock hour tonight. But I can actually make some changes here. So what I like to do is let's go ahead and press shift down, and let's go ahead and put some asterisks here so I can see between what I was doing. And then I can just put instructions here just like I would a chat bot. And I'm going to say, great, please, great, rewrite, and change the name of Glitterfall to something else that sounds what? Like Greek mythology?
Fairy,
more fairy. How about that?
Yeah. And hope that it doesn't just, pull
more fairy influenced.
Fairy influence, good idea.
Yeah. And add more details throughout. Anything vague, expand on it. Now, I have 577 words in my Big Bang box, and then I have my instructions right here. I'm going to go ahead and click on the auto write, and that means that each bang will write to my auto write page. Now, what I wanted to do is I need to pick a model that's actually going to, embellish and be able to write a whole bunch. So for this, I could actually choose Claude and see if Claude's willing to do it. Let's go ahead and give Claude a try. So I'm going to click Anthropic. Nope, I cannot write Anthropic for the model there. Hold on. Let me go back to OpenAI. It didn't like the temperature and the top P.
Oh, well, yeah. We can change that.
For learning, nope, it still does not like this. So I will let him know about that. So we'll stick with OpenAI for right now, and we'll just go with GPT-4. It's fine. I'm actually going to take my temperature down. I'm going to take my temperature down to 1.2, and I'm going to put my top P at 1 because I want it to follow my instructions, and I just want it to be unique. So I'm going to increase my presence penalty to 1, and we'll click update. All right, auto write. And one of the reasons why the Anthropic key is so fragile is because the only people who have an Anthropic key right now are the founders. So that was one area that we have not debugged or anything like that. But rest assured, it'll be debugged before you guys all have access with AWS. So great, rewrite and change the name of Glitterfall to something else. And I can go ahead and click Let's Bang. And the number of repeats actually says how many times it's going to repeat. So if I wanted to cut this up into instructions, I could put that and say, expand this, expand that, and do 6 bangs at once. Ryan Rivers calls it, you set it, and then you go into the dishwasher. That's what you do. So our original here, we had just one little sentence here, and now we have a lot more information. Now we're in Shimmervale. Let's see if Shimmervale is taken. Nope.
Do they spell it V-E-I-L or V-A-L-E?
Nothing Shimmervale Fantasy, but V-A-L-E.
That's what I was thinking.
Fairytopia.
Barbie movie fandom. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't remember Shimmervale being in the
It doesn't matter
Barbie.
because it's spelled differently. It's spelled Vail. We're good.
Okay.
All right. A vivid olive hue. Yeah, this is not good. I don't like this at all. It's the temperature being so high, it's like crazy. So it's too
Maybe
hot.
we need to set it down to like
I need
0.7.
to bring it down.
Let's, yeah.
It should be almost done. Oh, it's like straight hallucinating at the end there. Not to worry.
Mhm.
We'll just come down here and delete all of that because the other thing is I noticed that it didn't understand what I wanted exactly.
Yeah.
So right here, not a problem. We'll delete all of that mess. This was my fault. This wasn't the AI's fault. Let's go to 0.8 for the temperature.
Mhm.
And the other thing I'm going to say here is that in examples, give at least 3. Because that's really what I wanted. I wanted more examples and more details about each one. Okay, now we're good. And now we'll click Let's Bang. There we go. For Devishly Whimsical Orc Mafia Romance Series. Didn't name it. Oh, Fairy Fuse. You know what? It's fine. We'll do a control find and replace.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to worry about it.
Sounds
It's
like
my fault for not saying like what it is. And it's like doing the reworked examples.
It's making assumptions.
Yeah. Military inclined orcs. So it's not really giving me a lot more details that I wanted. And this is what happens. This is what happens when you try to make the AI work all at once. So we're going to do one more strategy here after this finishes. I'm going to actually dice this up and let it go a little bit at a time. And I'll show you what that looks like. What? Why is it like just straight hallucinating here? What do I have that's making it hallucinate? Are you seeing that?
I'm only seeing a little bit of it. Oh, it's like
Yeah.
vocabulary. That's weird.
0.81 and 1.0.
Maybe try 16K, the 3.5 16K.
Yeah, this is just stop. I'm just going to make it stop. All right.
Stop.
Just stop. Just stop. All right. So here's what we're going to do as a better strategy. We're going to take these pieces and we're going to break them up. So the way you can kind of run this is you can say you can use the Big Bang box. This is an advanced strategy with Big Bang. And sorry that Josh needs back in. Come on.
You're on mute, Elizabeth.
That when I step away, AI runs amok and tries to mute me.
Yes, every single time.
Happens all the time. Okay, so an advanced technique of using Rexy is the Big Bang box. You can actually use this as a prompt that's going to be repeated over and over and over again because the Big Bang box is like a sandwich. It runs the top and then the middle and then the bottom box, and it does it for each instance. So I'm going to say, you will be given a portion of the story world elements and your job is to expand, is to read the idea so far and expand to add even more details. That could fit the story world. Okay, pretty easy instructions here. And then let's go ahead. We'll just keep it as, what is this called? What does this have already? It's called it something. Glitterfall. We'll keep it as Glitterfall for right now.
Okay.
So I'm going to Control X1 and put that in Insta1. And then, interesting, I undo. Okay, I saw what happened. It was my fault. I pressed the wrong button. I got a new keyboard.
This keyboard has been the bane of your existence all week.
It's been all week. Y'all know when you get a new, it's Brian Rivers' fault. I spilled wine on my other keyboard earlier in the week. I had to get a new one. You will be given a portion of the story world, and your job is to expand that story world part with more details and examples that fit. Okay, so that's what we'll do.
Save that to your jump cut just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Do it again. Okay, so I clicked out of that.
Okay.
So we're gonna grab this and press Control X and paste it into there. Paste it into there. Okay, it didn't like that. That's fine. It's because of these boxes. What you have to do is if I cut it, I have to click out of it before I, nope, it just brought it back.
Click over into the other one, yes.
Yeah. Because next is species. So Insta2, I'll paste in species. This is species. And then you're supposed to do Command Enter to save it. And that's what saves it into that box. Mm-hmm. Another way to do this is with Notions stuff. So this is a way to just kind of do it on the fly. And I think this will be the last thing that we're able to do before the end of the hour here. We'll see. Yeah. So this is the magic system. And it's still there. Okay. You know what? I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go 4. I'm copying them to my jump cut. 5, 6. How are we doing in the chat? Any questions about
We're doing great. We're
okay.
Doing great.
All right. And you know what? I like this, these little instructions here. Remember, world building is about consistency and depth. So we have this, like, it's going to read all of this as like a prompt each time it runs an Insta. So Insta 4, which I will load in number 4, families and clans. Insta 5. Now this is going to be really awesome. So each one of these is going to run as an individual prompt, everyone. So we are literally about to run 8 prompts at a go.
I think so.
I'm going to jump over to 16K because otherwise we'll be here forever and a day.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and use 16K as our that, and we'll
keep everything. Huh? Looking good. How's the temperature?
0.8. It should be fine. I wonder if I did an update. You know what? I wonder if I didn't actually click update the last time I did the GPT-4 stuff.
It might have.
Yeah. So we're banging with 16K. So since I have 8 instructions. Oh,
we're going to need
one other thing I wanted to do.
Oh, okay. What?
This is another advanced tip. So the bottom box is, this will help my bangs to be divided up so I can see where the bangs were. I probably don't need it since it's going to do 5 and 6. The other thing I think I need is, okay, so thinking about how this is going to run, it's going to read this.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's going to be reading that. And so what I need to do is, I think I actually need this at the top of each one. I think I need this one in each Insta.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's going to have that information. There we go.
Now it's going to put the output from each one of these prompts into the Big Bang box as it runs, right? So it's
not as it runs, but at the end. But you have to understand that once it runs number 5, for example, number 6 will be able to read the responses from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 before it writes number 6.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing I'll do is go through all these boxes and copy and paste them so that way we have these instas saved for people who want to try to do this on their own. They can run them. So let me go ahead and Control A. Oops, not that one. Control A and copy. Copy. As while it's running, I'll load these into a document on the Notion. Now, I've only shown this once before, a few other times, but publicly only once before, and that was a few weekends ago, what WordBanger can actually do. And then this is going to be at the end. Okay, so we have 8 instas, so we need 8 bangs.
Mm-hmm.
And we're using 16K, so let's bang.
Let's bang.
And so it's going right now. So it jumped right to number 2. The city thrived. The Elven Syndicate, known for their sleek and elegant appearance. Oh, it's looping. It's writing the same thing over and over again. Is OpenAI having issues tonight or something?
I don't know.
Because this is bonkers. I've never seen it do this before. 4 was like, nah, I'm not playing. This is a mess. But, I mean, this is what happens when you build something that's on the cutting edge.
Yep.
So, this is why we also only have 10 bangs. And it's
we'll have to look at the prompt structure and see if there's anything we can change.
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely, the prompts are not going great because it's not reading what I want it to. But that's okay. This is what happens. Mm-hmm. So it has all of the information, and then these repeats, these are like the individual of like what it wrote. So all of this is on my auto write. You guys can see it copied and pasted everything. So even though I ran it and it wasn't exactly what I wanted, I did keep all of the words, and it was 3,500 words in one go. So let's see if we can't fix it real fast, because this is a little bit aggravating to me. I don't like it when things fail. Okay, so you'll be given a portion of the story world, and your job is to expand that story world. Let's take this out because it may be a little bit too creative on it.
I'm wondering if letting it see what it wrote previous to is maybe screwing it up a little bit.
Rewrite the above number 1 and only number 1 to get more detail and examples. Okay. And then we'll do that as well. So this is the other cool thing about this. I'm going to make some changes here. Take that out. All right. And then we'll grab the information here. This is what I love about WordBanger. WordBanger, and let's make this easier on everyone's eyes. Let's just make it bigger so everyone can see the whole thing. Mm-hmm. I'll put there, rewrite the above 2 and only 2 to get more detail and examples. So we have that. Now, if I just want to test what's happening, let's just do 2 bangs at a time.
Yeah.
We can just do 2. And we'll click let's bang, and it's only going to do 1 and 2. Now, there we go. So now we have the setting. Okay. All right. It's looking good. We're getting a lot more information about the setting, which is what I wanted. I got 500 words on the setting. And then number 2. Now I'm getting all about the species. All right. This is what I wanted. Now I have 1,000 words on just those 2 things. So now I know that this is working. So what I would go ahead and do is make those changes. So I need this information here. Copy.
And this is a super important part of prompting. Is running your prompts, seeing what comes back, understanding what the AI has given you based on your prompt, and then editing your prompt
Yeah.
to actually get the kind of output that you want. It is extremely iterative. And this is why most people give up, after a prompt or two. They're like, oh, this doesn't write well. I'm not happy with the output of this. But I think that if you have enough curiosity and you're working through it, that you can try out different methods, you can change your wording, move things around in the prompt so that you can get the kind of output that you're looking for.
Yeah. And I would say the other thing too is that a lot of people would be like, well, I could just sit here and write this faster. Possibly, but once I get this running, it's about, like, we just wrote 1,000 words in 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So this is probably going to write a document that's about, let's see here. It should be about 4,000 words long, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm just taking out this information and then putting at the bottom here write the above 7 and only 7 to get more detail and examples. And then the last one is 8. And then I'll copy and paste these, since if these are the ones that work, we know that we're good. We write 8. And we have more functionality to show you. This is just like the very basics of the functionality of, like, you can grab a prompt, you can start riffing off of it, you can bring it into WordBanger, and you can start working with it. I'm actually going to take this out because it's not going to be able to pick up that it's 1 and 2 has already started. So I'm going to clear this. So I just click clear, and that clears my big bang box, which is fine because it's already saved on the auto writes. So that's the good thing. We'll keep the auto write going. We're going to keep 16K. And now let's go with 8 bangs and see how this works. And before I do that, I'll go back over here. Oh my goodness. And let me clear my jump cut. Clear all. Okay, cool. Let me just grab all and copy 1, copy 2, because if this works, I want to be able to give this to you guys so that you guys can see it. And you can literally manually run this all 8 times inside of in a prompt engine, in a playground. Okay, so here we go. Let's bang.
Let's bang.
Now we've got the setting. And what's cool is that the way WordBanger works is that every time it finishes one element, it will read that element again before it writes the next one, so that way it's going to hopefully keep this consistent. So we have Glitterfall, and then we have the Orcs Burly, the Fae held the high rises, the Elves, the Dwarves, the Goblins, the Trolls. So it brought information about each species, whereas the first draft only just mentioned them. It didn't give me information about them.
Right.
It looks like we are looping. Interesting. It just like crashed. It quit working. I broke it.
We may be coming up to the context window limit. It's 16K. So it's writing quite a few words.
We shouldn't be because of 1469.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Well, you know what? Things like this happens. This is what happens when you demo software live. The gremlins come in and it doesn't want to work.
And we're coming to the top of the hour too.
We are coming. We're right at the top of the hour. So we'll talk with Joseph, and hopefully we'll be back. We'll be back at 8 o'clock Eastern time. We'll have WordBanger hopefully back in shape, or find out what's going on with this. Worst case scenario, I'll pop over into Baby Rexy, which I know it actually works perfectly fine in there, while the gremlins are worked out in this one. Baby Rexy was our development one. Yeah.
And we have a new guest coming up at 8 o'clock because I will be heading out.
Stacy Anderson will be here. So thank you everyone for coming for this little bit. I'm not going to give you those prompts right now because something's not right with them, but we'll prompt engineer them. This is the danger of doing things live. It's not bad. It's just not great. And the good news, this good news is it only cost me like a couple of pennies or fractions of a penny.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Good luck, and I'll see you guys again in about an hour. Bye.
Bye.